Hey everyone, it's Elise, your kitchen shrink, and you're watching ETV, where we are serving up the dish weekly. And on today's plate, what we're serving up is how to deal with guilt. Is it really serving you, or is it letting you keep in that little stew? So I love this topic because it's so rich and juicy. And during this episode, I am going to bust two myths about guilt, and I'm also going to give you some ways so that you can literally send guilt to a grinding halt and stop it and get it out of your life and say goodbye. See you later, because you don't need it. It's a waste of feeling. One of the myths I'm going to expel is that guilt is not the most useful emotion to feel. If anything, for a lot of people, it really keeps us stuck from moving forward. And so what I want to do is provide you some tools and steps so that you can literally let go of guilt and keep moving forward. Another myth that people think about guilt is that if they live it, if they consume it, if they're constantly feeling guilty, that they're not going to make the same mistake again that they made in the first place to feel this guilt. And I want to completely expel that myth, because that is not true, and I don't feel like it's really serving you. And so that's the question to ask: is guilt serving you, or is it literally stirring up the guilt pot stew? That's what I like to call it. Because literally we can just sit there and stew in these feelings, and it doesn't get us anywhere. So what I want you to do is we're going to get a little uncomfortable here just for a little bit, so you just deal with it for a little bit. But I want you to think back to an experience. It could have been recent, it could have been in the past, years ago. I want you to think back to an experience that you had where you felt so guilty, whatever it was. You don't have to tell me, but just think about that and close your eyes for a little bit. And I want you to just notice any physical sensations that you're having and any emotions that are coming up, and just note them. And you can even have a little piece of paper. So again, any physical sensations, whether it's the lump in your throat, a tight or churning stomach, or tight shoulders, or you kind of get hot and sweaty, your face gets flushed. Those are all cues that your body's trying to tell you something's going on. And then I want you to identify the feeling. So what is the feeling attached to that physical sensation? And what is the situation that happened before all these feelings and physical sensations were happening? So I want you to identify the situation that happened. I want you to identify the physical sensations, and I want you to identify the feeling of that situation. And once you've done that, I then want you to think about what did you do after the fact? So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you went to work one day, you haven't been feeling up to par lately, and you get fired. Okay, oops, crap, what do we do? You're driving home, your mind just going. Oh my gosh, I knew I could have done better. I could have done this a little differently. Why didn't I just get up earlier? Why was I late all the time? And you pull into a gas station, or you pull into a fast food joint and get yourself something to kind of calm yourself or feel better. Before you do any of that again, because that's just going to add more emotions, more guilt, and more stuff that we have to deal with, I want you to be able to literally stop yourself the next time a situation like this comes up, and it's going to come up again. So I want you to stop yourself and identify the situation, identify any physical sensations you're having and emotions. And the physical sensations are really helpful, because if you ever get another situation like this again, you'll be able to kind of get comfortable with your body, then where you're really going to notice this, and be able to a plan in place that you can literally put other behaviors instead of going to the behavior that just contributed and added fuel and to your guilt. You can have some nourishing plan that you can give yourself. Write down on a piece of paper all the nourishing things that you could do for yourself, instead of doing something that's going to add more guilt and literally stir the guilt pot. Okay, so something, it may look like just taking some time for yourself, saying no to a friend, going on a walk, enjoying a nice book, taking a bath, those kind of things that I want you to start implementing instead of the extra behaviors, because things are going to happen. And really, it's all about just pausing, taking a look at the situation that happened, and seeing what you could learn from it. But don't dwell on it, because it's not going to serve you or do you any good. So that is what I'm dishing up today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to hear from you. So please leave your comments below, and we will catch you next week on ETV. Thanks, and have a good rest of your week.